reporting to his daddy. Kwani leo hii Gachagua baba yake amekuwa ni Trump? Yeye baba yake ni Trump. If he's worshiping Trump, let him go to America. And in fact, he should not even dare to come back here. Lau mimi ningekuwa Murkomen, hata angekanyaga hiyo airport na angeenda kwake. Because some of these things, we babysit these people, but it is like they are not showing us they are grown-ups. Look at it this way. Since Gachagua went to US, have you seen Mandamano? Since Gachagua went to US, have you seen our young boys being kidnapped? So it means it was a political strategy, so that he does it and he defends the president, so that people believe it is the president doing this. Why are these young people not being kidnapped today? Now that is away. So our brothers should not pamper these guys. In fact, I'm saying for a fact, if at all Mheshimiwa Ruto wants to lead this country, let him lead it properly. He should not just try to do what? To baby.
Good evening. Ni furaha tele leo, siku ya leo ni tarehe 11 mwezi wa 8 mwaka 2025. It is one of the good days we have, like the 80s when Gor Mahia was conquering the continent. Yesterday I was really a proud man, even though I'd lost hope in the sporting activities in our country, mostly football, because football was literally tribalized. But yesterday I was very happy when I saw Muchiri in the field. He was doing wonders. At the same time, I did say the other time, our president should up the game in terms of encouraging young people to live to their talents and ensures they give opportunities to themselves, ikiwemo sporting activities. Like the way it was done yesterday. Naysayers were saying all along after the second match that we are not going to trump over the Moroccans. But I thank God, Mungu ni nani. Vijana wetu walionyesha what it means to be real patriots. Because ukiangalia kwa kina, mpira ilichezwa pasipo kuleta this stupid narrative Mheshimiwa Gachagua is bringing around. Now, when Gachagua says, I really pity this old man. However much he's one of the renowned leaders we have around. He's trying to castigate the efforts the young Kenyans did put forward to ensure that we get victory and make sports be one of the job opportunity creators. If he says, the Mheshimiwa President, fix the match so that Kenyans can emerge victors, surely, was he looking at another game or he was looking the Kenyan game? If we say, people will say that we are tribalists and that's why we are castigating him. I think what is apparent, and I'll try to request the president, just keep up the spirit of patriotism and giving encouragement to our young leaders. When I say young leaders, I even mean young guys who are trying to earn an honest living through various ventures. Like now, if at all we are going to go to the next match against Zambia, believe me you, vijana wetu miguu zitabaki kwa kiwanja, because we cannot afford to lose 2.5 million from that match. And so that one is equally going to culminate into the quarters that we have also been given opportunity so that our young people can get houses as well as more goodies like 60 million. So what I'm saying, as Kenyans, let us be patriotic enough the way we used to support our athletes, the young men and women who always goes to the diaspora to do the what? To do the marathons. When the Kenyan flag is being raised, when the Kenyan national anthem is being sung, all of us are keen and very proud what is transpiring in the whole world. And so, I really request our leaders to be leaders. Let us not just talk without sieving what is coming out from our tongues. How can you say a president has fixed a match? Somebody in the name of Gachagua. On the other aspect, that is very key. Let us be very keen here. I think Mheshimiwa Murkomen should leave out to the responsibilities given unto him. Nobody is above the law. If somebody is reckless, polarizing the country and trying to make the country go to the dogs out of his utterances, he will face the full wrath of the law. I think we should not just pamper these guys. Because like when Gachagua says, he's reporting to his daddy, kwani leo hii Gachagua baba yake amekuwa ni Trump? Yeye baba yake ni Trump.
If he's worshiping Trump, let him go to America. And in fact, he should not even dare to come back here. Lau mimi ningekuwa Murkomen, hata angekanyaga hiyo airport na angeenda kwake. Because some of these things, we babysit these people, but it is like they are not showing us they are grown-ups. Look at it this way. Since Gachagua went to US, have you seen Mandamano? Since Gachagua went to US, have you seen our young boys being kidnapped? So it means it was a political strategy, so that he does it and he defames the president, so that people believe it is the president doing this. Why are these young people not being kidnapped today? Now that is away. So our brothers should not pamper these guys. In fact, I'm saying for a fact, if at all Mheshimiwa Ruto wants to lead this country, let him lead it properly. He should not just try to do what? To babysit these guys. He went to US. We've never had a young person kidnapped. Who was kidnapping them? He went to the US, and we've never seen Mandamano around. Who was organizing this? He went to US, at least for the first time. We have a peace. We've seen Wakina Kalonzo doing rallies. We've seen the Matiangis doing rallies before he went over there. But we've never seen that level of polarization that was happening when Gachagua was here. So what I'm saying, okay, I know he will call, but not to somebody of my class. What I am saying, if Gachagua is going to come back to this country, let him go and answer who was kidnapping our young guys, because initially he said he knows. Let him explain to us who was polarizing the country politically. Then another vulgar statement that should not even come from a leader of Gachagua's caliber. He's saying Ruto is liaising with Al-Shabaab. So he expected our chiefs who are kidnapped to go and die there. There's always negotiating democracy. You can as well negotiate. If already our people are kidnapped into Somalia, if the government offers olive branch so that our people can be brought back, what's the problem with that? And these guys have come over to the country. Did he expect his sons and wife to be kidnapped? That's when he expected the government to negotiate. So what I'm saying for free now, the Kenyan government should live up to their deals of leadership, why they were elected. They should not pamper this guy. This guy is taking us to the dogs. And if everybody will emulate what Mr. Gachagua is doing, I think this country is going to be no more. So I say this affirmatively. Let our leadership own up. Murkomen, play your part. Hiyo maswali mengine tutajibu baadaye. Thank you very much.
Mheshimiwa, before you finish, I have a question.
Yes.
The other day, on Friday, I think last week, yes, President William Ruto,
yes,
offered a solution to the compensation of the young men and women that were killed during the demonstrations. I mean, this is the first that it has happened in so many years, this country, that people that suffered and lost their loved ones due to demonstrations are being compensated. Yes. What is your take on that?
My take is very simple. No human being has a net worth. You can never give a price tag to a human being, dead or alive. But the truth be told, the moment all these things have happened, we also have to appreciate and live to that. Because at one point, let me say, somebody has gone due to the demonstration. A parent factored in something to bring that guy up. That person has families. So at one point, the little compensation, that per se, cannot correspond to the value of the existing person. But then, the wife or whoever is remaining there can get opportunity to come up with a little compensation given. We have guys around who are done what? Who are maimed. There are those who are hospitals. Hospital bills cannot be paid. Through the compensation, it can be worked out. These are some of the little aspects that we appreciate the government to do what? To do. So according to me, it is positive and it is a good step forward. But having said that, I'll also request, let us not reach that far. Tujaribu kuwa na utaratibu wakati kuna problem iwe solve amicably, tusifike kiwango cha kwamba tunapoteza maisha as well as watu wanakuwa crippled ndio kusudi kesho wa Mungu tuwalipe. Yes.
Apart from that, the IEBC
Yes.
recently laid out the days for by-elections from different parts of the country
Yes.
on November 17th.
Yes.
And one Secretary General of ODM, Edwin
Yes.
Sifuna,
Yes.
had a contradicting opinion saying that the current IEBC, which was just recently sworn into office,
Yes.
cannot be trusted.
Yes.
I would love to hear your take on that matter, and more so, my last question
Yes.
is in regards to President William Ruto appointing a bench
Yes.
of 5 principals that will oversee the implementation of the 10-point agenda that was signed between the ODM and the UDA
Yes.
at KICC,
Yes.
and also the implementation of the NADICO report. He appointed the said principals that will oversee to that, and currently they have kick-started the process. I would love to know your take on
Thank you very much. Over issues Sifuna, I'm fed up. Because when I talk from a political platform, people will say I'm castigating him because we don't read from the same script. But the truth be told, even yourself, if you are using your hands to eat, why do you go and rinse your hands before you eat? You don't even trust your hands. So if Sifuna says he doesn't trust IBC, that one to me is not a problem. But the truth be told, that institution is independent, gonna do its work, whether Sifuna likes it or not. The country is going to move forward. And if truly doesn't trust IBC, let him not run for any elective office. Because it is that institution that is going to oversee. So there's no fairness Sifuna is going to get. So it will not make us start thinking aloud. Huh? I did tell you Sifuna is just a young chap who is intelligent, given the opportunity, using it badly. So I don't want to discuss Sifuna. Over the issue of the committee that the president and his colleagues formed, over the NADCO report, the implementation of the 10 points agenda, I think you can never run any institution pasipo na proper utaratibu. So if the committee that was supposed to oversee the implementation that wasn't existing, at this point in time, I think the whole report is going to leave there to see the light of the day. Like the NADCO report, I think it is explicit. Let them implement it, then we start talking from there. So according to me, as a senior citizen, I only request us to embrace the committee, give them moral support as they progress with their work. Let us start talking once they've delivered the report. And equally, I'll only request the authority in place to behave differently from the previous authorities. The committees are formed, reports are being worked out, but they don't implement them. Over this, I expect them to do it differently, the way the president has been doing it always. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.